Yeah, that's right. Welcome and welcome back, folks. 2A is Tommy Rees, the broken piece edition of the Always Irish Show. As always, thank you for being here. You can find the program on YouTube. Do it, subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up, helps me out a lot. Notifications on. You'll be alerted every time a new episode drops. You don't want to miss it. Twitter, search bar, Always Irish Rat. Always Irish Inc. Emails, alwaysirishindy@gmail.com. Audio only anywhere you want me. You can get me. Call in line 312-900-8815. Have your voice heard and seen. More heard than seen, but that doesn't rhyme. Give me a break. Fighting Irish Wire, all your Notre Dame information from yours truly, Shepkowski, Mike Chen, bunch of good guys over there. Check it out. Make it a part of your daily Notre Dame routine. So, here we are, folks. Here we are. No matter what happens the rest of the season, can we all agree that all eyes are on Tommy Rees, big picture here? Will the offense look any better? Gradually look better? Look worse? Is Pine hot or cold? Does Angeli get in? Does Rees stay after the season? Is probably the number one question all Notre Dame fans have right now, and so do I. That is my number one question as we sit today. It isn't, is Freeman going to lose his mind by the end of the year? No. The number one question already is me looking to the offseason saying, is Tommy staying or not? Like, you can think that's not fair. You can think that's blaming him. Like, I just know our offense is nowhere near real life, nowhere near good enough. He's in charge of it, so I'm looking at him. How's that not fair? He is the one who went and recruited the guys we're working with. So you can't even say, he's dealing with the quarterback that isn't ideal. That was his guy he wanted. That was his guy he wanted. So you can't even give him that leeway. So I don't know about you, but that is my number one item I'm looking at. Big picture. Is this guy around after this year? The offense is the worst part of the team, and it has been for many, many years, and Tommy's a huge part of that. Whether it's offensive coordinating overall or being in charge of quarterbacks that don't develop to be any good. And then one more further step is recruiting guys that can come in and be really good. None of it's good enough. None of it has been or is good enough. None of it. All right? So that's what I mean when I say it isn't just what you see on Saturday, folks. It's recruiting and development too. Years before you see the game on TV. We have something going wrong because none of the quarterbacks are elite and they don't develop to be elite. So he's taking heat on all this, and it's fair. Kelly took a lot of heat on this too. Now Kelly's gone. Tommy's here though, and he is in charge of all this. His name is on all this. So it's accurate and fair that he's getting asked these tough questions. Let's look at the case for and against Rees staying at Notre Dame as I see it right now. I'm going to give you 3 fors and 3 againsts. For number 1, Notre Dame continuity. I get it. I get the romance of a Notre Dame guy. Frank Leahy played here and then stayed here and then coached here. I get the romanticism around your homegrown guy and all that. I get it. So that's number 1 for Tommy is keeping that Notre Dame pipeline. He's our guy. We like that dynamic. Fine. Number two, the current players and teams seem to like him. Like, I guess that's a big deal. That those guys seem to have a good relationship with him, like him, relate to him. He's younger, all of that. They seem to like the guy. And number three, recruiting. Like, Carr seems to have a really good relationship with Tommy Rees and his family. Others seem to like him as well. Here's the thing, though. Carr, I'll give you that. But from what we've seen from Tommy so far up to Carr, I keep hearing the recruits love him. We're sitting here without a 2023 recruit, quarterback recruit. So how much they love him? Where's that guy at? I don't see an elite level 23 recruit. So you could tell me the guys like him. Where's the talent then? If they like him that much, doesn't do me any good if they all love Tommy and go somewhere else. They don't love him enough. So those are three things for the argument of keeping Tommy around. Notre Dame guy, you like that continuity. The current players like him. Good relationships with the recruits. Fine. You know what's not on the list of arguments why to keep Tommy? Some statistic about how good the offense is, how innovative his scheme is, how much better the quarterbacks get from the time they started Notre Dame and then work with him and then play. Big game results. Having a quarterback put up huge numbers in the biggest game of the year when it matters the most. No. So nowhere on the list of positives for Tommy is anything about on the field. Notice that. That's a problem. Notice that of the best three things I could come up with in his favor, not one of them is an objective statistic that tells you he's doing great or he has done great. Even the Notre Dame offenses that looked good, the higher end Notre Dame offenses, whatever period of time they looked decent in with Rees, at the high point, they were not elite, not exciting, not innovative, nothing. They were just kind of ho-hum, average, maybe a little above average production. That's the high end of Rees. The high end is still nothing special. That's a rough 4 ledger. Now let's look at the against. Number one, the offenses are and statistically have been bad or at best middle of the road average. Not good enough to win anything that matters at the University of Notre Dame. Lower quadrant in all the major outputs. Not enough to win anything that matters. What matters at Notre Dame? The biggest games of the year, high-end New Year's Six bowl games, playoff games. None of the offenses Tommy Rees has been connected to at Notre Dame are capable of doing any of those things. They have not been. We've seen it multiple times. Not good enough by the numbers. Not my opinion, by the numbers. Not good enough. Number two, recruiting development and retention of the quarterback position. Recruiting, development, and retention at the quarterback position might be the most important part of Tommy's job and one of the most important jobs in all of sports. Quarterback recruitment, retention, and development. This has been an abomination the last handful of years. And again, even here's what I got to get you to understand. You have the low end of it, but what you also have to look at is the high end. At its best, the quarterback stuff has been a little above average at Notre Dame, but nowhere near real life, nationally competitive. Nowhere. Ian Book is the best we've had in recent vintage. Even at his best, he was limited to the point where you're not winning a playoff game or the biggest game on your schedule because of him. It's all not close to being good enough. Even the best output we've gotten Not even close to being good enough nationally. No way. And the proof was there because we never won a big game. When it was going the best it could have gone, we still didn't come close. It's all not good enough. All not good enough. So number one, against the offenses he's been involved with are statistically not good. You do not win your biggest games because of that offense. That is my bar of what's good enough. Notre Dame has never been able to do that recently. Offense has always held us back. Defense has to save every game, every day. Notre Dame's not winning anything if that's the dynamic. Forget it. Number two, quarterback recruitment, development, and retention. F, fail. Awful job. And number three, he is the lasting Brian Kelly pipeline. It's just a fact. It just is. We blame Kelly for a lot of this. He's gone. The closest extension of Kelly's this guy, and he's here. And everything's still not good enough. It is fair for the fan base to ask, is that last line of Kelly-ness holding us back? I'm sorry. It's fair to ask. All right? Freeman might get to the end of this year, want a clean slate. Tommy might get to the end of this year, want a clean slate. One of the likely scenarios is I could really see this happening. This is a very likely realistic scenario. At the end of the year, Marcus is frustrated with where we're at. So is Tommy. He goes to look for an NFL gig. They frame it all as positive. Thanks for your service. Tommy says, I have NFL dreams. Everybody part ways. No drama, no hard feelings. Seems like a borderline promotion going to the NFL, but Freeman wants to get fresh eyes on this thing. I could really see that being a realistic scenario at the end of the year. Amicable breakup. Thanks for your Notre Dame service. Just time to try something else type deal. And that comes down to Marcus's vision. What he sees. What he sees now and what he wants this to be, how to get there. Freeman has some huge, big picture coaching decisions to make after this year. Huge. Some of them might impact whether his overall tenure at Notre Dame's a success or a flamed out failure. He has got to take a real and honest look at all areas of the program and decide which ones are on the right track and which ones need new eyes and a new plan and a new voice. So I get that this is hard with Tommy, and you want the hometown Notre Dame guy to succeed. We all do. But we're not succeeding, and we haven't for a long time with him involved. Those are just the facts. Even when Notre Dame's recent offenses are at their best, they're nowhere near nationally good enough. At their best. I'm not even talking about at their worst. It's a large-scale problem. And I've heard the argument, man, you get rid of Rees, does Carr still want to come then? Like, that's the quarterback maybe you've been asking for, John. That's very tricky. Listen, Notre Dame's offenses are so bad that you just might need to make the decision that this is not a sustainable direction. And if we need to lose a couple recruits because of it, the net positive of getting a real offensive mind in here that makes this all go is going to outweigh losing a recruit or two. I am sick of Notre Dame's defense being the only redeeming quality here, other than a tight end or a running back that looks good 1 year or not. Get a real offense. This is a real problem. It's been one too long, and we're all over it. So I don't know what's going to happen the rest of this year. But with Rees, Freeman has a lot to consider. None of it's easy. He has to look out for his own reputation and the reputation of that dome and let what he feels is going to lead us back to the promised land, dictate how this goes. I hope Marcus sees what a lot of people around the program see. It's right there for you if you're looking. Good luck. Not a good place to be, folks. See ya.